It is the technology show where we translate geek into regular speak. I'm Brett Levy. I'm your host this week. So, yeah, let's just get straight into it. I'm going to bring up my slides and let's move into things with a Z, and off we go. So, if you're watching the show, you're going to see what looks like a stand. Well, it is a stand. The team over at Rocket PR said to me, would I be keen to try some new toys from 12 South? And I said, hell yeah. So if you've watched any of my previous shows, I've actually reviewed two of 12 South's products before. The one is the Airfly Pro. It's my travel companion. It goes with me whenever I travel. I think I actually revisited the Airfly Pro in October, November last year when I was traveling. And then I've also got the Stay and Go dock, which is on my desk now. I can't show it to you, but wherever my Mac goes, that goes. It connects my screens and keyboards and mice and hard drives and everything else. So it's a little, really nifty little port. 12 South have definitely made their name in iPhone, iPad, Mac accessories. And as we know, I use all of these accessories. So I thought, yeah, send it over. So I received the Hoverbar Tower. And that's what you're looking at on the screen now. I'll put up a little ticker as well, which will show you where to go to the website. Oh, I see I put number 12 for 12 South instead of the word 12 South. So it's 12south.com.au, all over the world, maybe just .com. And basically, it's not that I get to review tech for tech often, and that's what this is. It's a tower, right? It's a stand that holds an iPad. That's the simplest way of doing it. So where's the tech review in this? Well, it's actually very cool. First of all, it's really easy to assemble. So the tower comes with a base with 3 poles that are equal length, and then the attachment that holds the iPad. Quick swivel, turn them in, up they go, 3 poles, and then you put the arm on that adjusts. Now you can actually put 2 in if you only want 2. So full adjustment height with all 3 poles is about 5 foot. I actually don't know what that is in metric. 1.5 meters maybe. But then if you take a pole out, it's going to take you down to about 2 or 3 foot. And then the use cases. So if you look at the adverts or pictures on the website and that, you'll see, and I've got one up on the screen now as well. So for gym, you can have this little stand or tall stand actually holding your iPad for you. So you can see the training that you're doing for gym, or if you're watching the content, things like Apple Fitness. I know my wife during COVID trained with her personal trainer at home. Now, it was quite awkward sometimes to train in the living room because we've got like this really big coffee table and there wasn't much space. But there was always a section to the side where she could train, but it was really hard for her to do that and then still see her train on the TV. So she ended up using her iPad. Now, if she had had the hoverbar tower, she could have actually put the iPad in the tower, put the tower wherever she wanted, and actually had him at face height, or just adjusted the arm to wherever he wanted to see. So if she's doing arms or legs or whatever it might be. It actually works really well in the kitchen as well. Now, I wanted to get more use out of my tablets at home. If you watched the show a few weeks ago, I actually reviewed the Google Pixel Tab. Now, Google positioned the tablet to fit on it fits on this docking station that's a speaker. But the idea is that we generally use our tablets at home. And when you're not using it, you can put it on this speaker and it powers up and all those good things. Now, I did mention that 12 South specializes and focuses on Apple, but I thought, hell, why not? Let's give it a go. We'll see if we can actually get it to hold the Pixel tablet as well. And it does. If I go back here and I shift my slides, that's a picture of me sitting at my desk, and I'm looking at it. The hover tabs there. I can't turn my computer on to show you. But I just wanted more screens at my desk because this massive screen that I have here behind me, and then the screen that I'm obviously working on now looking at you, just wasn't enough. So I decided I need to have a 10-inch tablet there as well, hovering. And that's exactly what it does. It sits right here. If I move my hand like this at this height, and for those listening, I'm like holding my hand up at head height, I hit straight on my tablet. I actually had a Netflix show going, so much for working hard. So I had a little Netflix show going. But the other thing that I did with it is when I make phone calls or FaceTime calls from my phone, there's a light behind me that really bugs people because it shines straight in their face if I don't put up a background. So by putting my tablet over there and having a FaceTime call or whatever, I just have to swing my chair like this so you can see in this angle, but now I'm looking straight on into the tablet, and no weird lights behind me. So yeah, that was one of the things. Now I have to confess, maybe it's a bit embarrassing to confess this, but I'll confess it anyway. We're all friends here on the show. If you're too lazy to hold a tablet while lying down in bed, the hoverbar tower comes into hand. So I did. I got onto my bed. I pulled the tower next to my bed. I angled the arm at the perfect height, which is like that angle with a 30-degree tilt because your head's on the pillow. And I sat there watching Netflix on my tablet as well. I do have a TV in my room. I don't need to watch TV on the tablet. However, if my wife wants to sleep, I can't put the tablet at the TV on. So generally, I'd use an iPad with a headset. So I'm quite often watching content on a smaller screen. But then I got to kind of like hold it. And if you're getting sleepy, you get this effect where your arms fell and bang, next minute you wake up because a tablet hit you in the face. You can lie on your side and try and balance it carefully on the table next to me. I must say that the Google Pixel tablet comes into good use there because the docking station can sit next to the bed. However, I'm not using the speaker for what it is because I got a headset in. So this was my nice fix around, is that I could actually put the I'm smiling and laughing while I'm saying this because I can't really believe how lazy I actually am. But it's a workaround. And maybe you're injured and maybe you can't hold up the tablet with your arms, or your arms are busy because you're multitasking on your phone and then you want your tablet to sit there. I think though a not so lazy use for the hoverbar tower would actually be also in the kitchen. So if you're cooking, now I did see some of these pictures online when I was looking for stock photography to be able to use on the show, and there was a lady that actually had set it up with the tablet now leaning over the counter that she was working on in the kitchen. So it's a hands-free and she can touch. I hear people going, "Yes, Brett, we've put a Google speaker in or an Amazon speaker." Sorry, my cat was here and I got lots of hair floating around, so my nose is really itchy. Yes, you can put a Echo or Nest in your kitchen, but this is a really big 10-inch tablet as opposed to a little Nest, which might be a 6 or 7-inch screen. So it's a nice tool. I think the best use and probably the most designed use was for gymming and working out with people. One of the other pictures that I saw, which I thought was really clever use for the hoverbar tower, was for a cycle that doesn't have a screen on. So when you go to gym and they've got those really cool static bicycles or ellipticals, they got built-in screens, right? But not everyone has one of those at home. So if you've got an old school bike where you try and balance your phone on the little cup holder or whatever, now you can actually get the hoverbar tower put in front of your bike and then have the arm come right over with your tablet, and it's there so you can touch it while you're cycling. So there are definitely use cases for it. Mine's probably going to stay here next to my desk so that I have an additional screen. And I have 3 screens, including my phone, 4 screens to work off. But yeah, so that's the hoverbar tower. Not itself tech, but definitely a tech enabler. And that's what we do on the show. So thanks very much, everyone over at Rocket PR, to Chris. Thanks for sending it over. I have enjoyed playing with it. I hope you like my confessions of the heart of laziness. And yeah, let's get on to tech news. Oh, I have to pause. So I think I said this on the last show that this is kind of becoming the Elon Musk show. Well, today's no different. I don't know. Like now we don't have Twitter anymore. We now have X. If you follow Elon, you'll see recently he's just announced he's got his own AI tool he's working on called X.AI. He named one of his kids some stupid name that starts with an X. So he clearly has a love affair with X. X marks the spot where you need to dig a hole and throw all your stupid ideas in. I actually put a LinkedIn post up. I think I did it this morning. I'm just going into it while we're looking. I'm now using one of my other screens. I'd put a poll up to say, oh, you know, are you going to call it Twitter, or are you going to call it X? Well, I'll give you my response to my poll. If you're watching the screen, I've just put up there. So I've had 18 votes already on this. And let's see the results. The results say 67% Twitter will always be Twitter, and X is cool. I'm excited. Apologies. Maybe that's why it's such a low engagement on the votes. Who are the people that were actually excited about this? There are quite a few people. People that I haven't actually spoken to for ages. They seem to like X is cool. I'm excited. Jason from Direwolves, you like it? Really? Come on, Twitter's Twitter. Anyway, I actually need to raffle this off. So my water bottle has a Twitter bird logo on. This might become a collector piece soon. I got a couple of T-shirts as well with Twitter. I think I'm going to hold on to them. It is what it is, right? First of all, I don't think Twitter's going to be around for much longer. It's probably another poll that I should be starting. Maybe if you can actually kill it, you can claim it as a tax write-off, because unfortunately Twitter is a Twitter is a write-off. Elon, oh, I don't know. X. I don't know. I can't even. I'm exhausted talking about you and your stupid things. There we go. I can find lots of X's. Right, let's move along. Chat, as mentioned, X.AI. ChatGPT is now available to Android users. I must say that I've actually been doing quite a bit with AI. But the message here with AI, right, is it's a tool, it's not a solution. There's so many people that are sending garbage out there at the moment that are using. You can clearly see that it's been done in ChatGPT. There's a couple of giveaways. The one giveaway I'm going to give you, and this is something that I'm a stickler for, ask any of my clients. When you put something into ChatGPT, it is using an American engine. So if you're in the UK or in Australia or South Africa or anywhere else in the world that doesn't use a Z, like we do with tech news and things with a Z, we use an S. So when you take something and put it into ChatGPT and then just copy and paste, the words specialize, optimize, customize are all going to have Z's or Z's in them. It's a giveaway. No one in Australia would type with a Z or a Z, or the UK for that matter. So if you're going to do that, please at least go back in and correct it. You can do that in Word. Actually, you can ask it to change all words with those words in it to S's, or you can just actually read the stuff you've generated and at least then pretend that you did it. I'm not knocking ChatGPT or AI by any way, shape, or form. In fact, I love it. As I said, I just use it as a tool. But it is important as we progress in this space. It is a tool. So use it as a tool. I'm glad that Android now finally has it. I still don't know what it is with developers, why they have this insistence on releasing things on one platform and not the other. And you know, I use everything, right? I've got an iPhone, I've got a Pixel, I have a Google Pixel tab, I have an Apple iPad, I've got a MacBook, I've got a gaming PC. So I really do have all the different platforms. But when you use something and you use it across all these different screens, it's a bit of a kick in the teeth that you don't get something that you can get on one device, but you can't have another. There are reasons. We don't need to go into it. I mean, I've worked with developers for many years, but I do think that you'd probably get more success by releasing across both platforms simultaneously. If nothing else, you're going to save money on advertising. And I'm not talking about things like ChatGPT, right? Where people are going to find it anyway, just by the hype and all those good things. I'm talking about games. Like if you launch a game, you spend all this money building a game, then you spend money on marketing the game, but you only launch it on one platform. And then you got to go and do the whole thing again on the other platform. But yeah, it is there. It's now available on Android, which means it's available on iOS and Android. I have both. I have got the iOS version. It's pretty much the same as the web version. Just a tip, by the way, when things like this come out that have website versions or web OS versions, you can always just go into your phone and save a shortcut from the website. So although it's not quite an app, you still can use the tool on your phone. Just a little hack workaround. Staying with AI, Sergey Brin, who is, if you don't know, well, I'm not sure why you watch the technology show, but he's one of the co-founders of Google. He's obviously bored. You know, being a billionaire is tough. You either do nothing or you go and buy really cool social networks and destroy them. Or in his case, he's actually come back to work. So he's gone back to Google. Apparently, his portfolio is the next large AI system. Now, everyone's kind of a bit worried about AI and what it's doing and what it's going to do to us and make machines clever so they kill us. Sergey, welcome back. I hope it's been good for you. I'm sure you've seen a couple of changes since you've been there. Just want to remind you, when you started Google, the pay line was "Do no evil." Probably a mantra to bring back into the foray when it comes to AI and quote large AI systems, if that's kind of what you're doing. So yeah, Sergey Brin's back. I wonder if Larry's coming back too. Okay, this is super cool, and probably a great segue because I think I'm at the end of the news. I'm going to be going into Are You Game next, but Xbox and Paramount Pictures are celebrating the return of TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, to the big screen. There's been lots of TMNT movies and series and animations, but we're getting another big one. I don't actually know much about the new movie, if it's like live play, if it's just animation. I honestly haven't looked, but this got my attention, right? So with Xbox, they've done a collaboration where they are releasing a Xbox wireless controller with a built-in scent diffuser shaped like a pizza, and it actually smells like New York sliced pizza. Now, that's pretty cool. Like, I'm getting hungry thinking about that, but I'm just thinking about like gaming and holding this thing in my hand and then like smelling pizza. It'll be pretty interesting to see how the data goes and correlates to pizza sales or online ordering. I'm sure Xbox's biggest app's going to be like Domino's or something like that once this launches. That being said, you can't buy it. So it's coming out in four color derivatives, like the name. If you're watching the show, you'll see there's the purple, orange, red, and blue, like on the bottom left of each of their names. Donatello, I can't believe I can't think of their names. Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael, and gone blank. Anyway, but so there's four editions, four different colors. Quite honestly, any of them would be cool. I'd love to get my hands on one. See what I did there? But you can't buy them. It's only on sweepstakes. I believe you have to follow Xbox Game Pass account on Twitter. Sorry, Twitter. And then on there'll probably be a call to action on how you enter. Unfortunately, I think this is probably an American thing only. So for all my American listeners and viewers, good luck. If anyone wins one and doesn't want to keep it for any reason, please DM me. I'll send you my address and you can send it through to me. So as I said, I think that brings us to the end of tech news with a Z or Z. And then we're going to go into Are You Game? Now, this is an interesting one, right? So I'm obviously quite involved with games and gaming as a whole. And I get a lot of like inquiries, not inquiries, it's press releases and that from multiple PR agencies from around the world. Home Run PR actually put me onto this game. Yeah, it's one of the ones. And it kind of caught my eye for the simple reason that, well, it's not really a game. So let's get into it. So first of all, it's called Harmony, The Fall of Reverie. Now, Don't Nod is the studio that did this game. And I said it's not a game actually, but well, it's not a game, right? So it's not a game that you play. It's actually a beautifully scripted and drawn animated journey. So remember those books when you were young and you got to choose the pathway? Like if you wanted him to do this, go to page 7. And if you wanted to do that, go to page 32. The Harmony Fall of Reverie is kind of the same thing. So if you're expecting to play a game, this is not for you. If you're looking to step back from your computer and stop killing things, then yes, this is definitely something to consider. It's hard to like really go into the game without giving too much away. But basically, the story is along the lines of consequences and actions. So if you do this, there's a consequence for that, which comes out in the story. and an action as such. But basically, you're this young woman called Polly, and you go home looking for your missing mother, but you kind of do something that then takes you into almost a parallel world where you become Harmony. So you got two names, two personas in two different worlds at the same time, but you can cross between these two worlds depending on the journeys that you take in the story. Now, for me, it's not the kind of game I normally play, right? I play games to get away from work and to switch off of that. I don't generally read a lot anymore, and I used to love reading. So this is kind of like a happy medium for me in that I'm not well, you are reading, you read the story. The story is narrated as well. Not so much from Harmony's point of view. Hers you generally read, but all the other characters that you interact with, they have these voices. There's lovely music in the background. The drawing is really nice. It's kind of like it's not like Japanese anime style, but it's also not really like traditional Disney or UK style drawing. So it's quite unique. The art forms are unique. If you look at the screen, I've just put up a picture now. That's kind of what you see in this story, right? There's Harmony. She's engaging with one of the characters in the story. His name's Power. They all have different powers or skills. They're almost like godlike creatures. And then it says, "Find your mother, explore the future." So he's talking to her, and then you click the button, you carry on. So you get to read a book or a journey or a story, which is really cool. By the way, I'm not finished it yet. And I've actually gone back twice now. I've gone back into two different pathways. Warning, spoiler alert, and it does warn you about this. There's certain times that if you make a decision, it closes down the opportunity to go in another route. So you do have to think about it. So that's the gamification side of Harmony, the Fall of Reverie. It's not a game, right? You're not going to sit there and click and right click and WSAD and space and jump and all these things. You're not doing any of that. You're reading a story. You are choosing the direction of the story. Yeah, so it's not for everyone. It's as I said, it's not a game I play. I actually remember looking at this and going, this is something I'd actually like to try. There was a really nice YouTube promotional video on it. I'll see if I can find the link and I'll add it into the post after the show about it, and we'll take it from there. So yeah, Harmony, Fall of Reverie. It's an independent game company, so it's always nice to support indie games. It's available. I played on Steam on the PC. It's on Switch. It's on PS5 and it's on Xbox. So yeah, if you're looking for something different that doesn't require you to actually do anything but just more immerse yourself into the world, worth having a look at. What else have we got? Well, if that's all your game. Oh, there's some slides. So I mean, yeah, I actually should have clicked these through when I was putting it, but this gives you an example of some of the animation that I was talking about. Right, Q&A. So this is one that I was asked this question. So the question is basically, how do you alphabetize? Do you pronounce it alphabetize? Alphabetize, yeah. How do you alphabetize apps on an iPhone for quick navigation? So this I can't give you an answer for Android. I can give you an answer for iOS. There's actually two answers that I can think of. So when you download an app, it puts it into the first available space on your phone, and it just starts to fill up. And if you create folders, you can put them in folders as well. And before you know it, you've got 10s and 20s pages worth of apps, and they're all over the place. To find your app, you can swipe down, bring up the search, and search for the app. Just start typing, and it comes there. But if you have OCD or you have this need that everything needs to be alphabetized, hey, no judgment here. There's two ways of doing it. The one is a bit risky in the sense that you actually have to reset the home screen. So what you do is you go into settings and you go reset erase. Please don't push erase. Go reset, and then it brings up a menu of what you can reset. And inside there, I think it's like reset home layout or reset home screen. And that will kind of reset all your apps and let you alphabetize them. There's actually three ways of doing it. If you've got more than enough time then on your hands, because for me this would not be an option, is to actually hold down any of the apps till they start shaking and then drag them. So you could drag them into any order that you want. And I know on Android you can drag your apps around as well. The other one, which came out, I think, in an iOS 14 or 15 is just scroll all the way to the end. So swipe left. Just keep swiping left on your home screen until you get to the end, and it actually gives you an alphabetized list of all the apps on your phone with a search bar right at the top. So, if your app that you're looking for is S, you could still type it, or you just do a really fast, quick scroll till you get down to the S's. So hopefully that answers the question for you. I think a comment just came through here. I don't see it. Sorry if anyone asked me a question. I saw something come up, but I don't actually see the comment. So, yeah. Maybe I'll see it after the show. It's not on my screen at the moment. But that's it, I think, for the show. So that's the Q&A. I've got some really exciting toys that I'm playing with at the moment. So next few shows are going to be fun. I'm going to be getting Cade back on a show for one of the products that we're reviewing. I'm looking that way because that's where they are. But yeah, so I think that's it. So till next time, keep your screens clean and your knobs shiny.